Mr. Yip Hon Weng.
CPF contributions have risen over the past few years, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, when there was a rise in hybrid working arrangements. The computation of CPF obligations does not differ from traditional salaried employees and remote hybrid employees. All employers are required to make mandatory CPF contributions, both the employer and the employee portion, based on the wages a Singaporean or a Singapore permanent resident earns while working in Singapore. This includes overseas employers who have local employees working for them remotely in Singapore. We advise local employees of such firms to check that their employment contracts covers the rights and obligations for both themselves and their employers, including provisions of the contribution of CPF by their employers. Further information can be found in a guide on working for overseas-based employers, which is published on MOM's website. Now, in addition, like other local employees, employees working remotely in Singapore for overseas employers can still make voluntary CPF contributions up to 37,740 Sing dollars per year, less any mandatory contributions received, to help them enjoy CPF interest rates of up to 6% per annum and accumulate more for their retirement and their healthcare needs. Thank you.
Mr. Yip Hon Weng.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I thank the Minister for his reply. Will some companies use hybrid work to avoid paying the full CPF obligations? One possibility that I can think of is that some companies may have a physical presence, but not declaring that that the company is hiring workers who are working from home. What are the plans to periodically review and audit the CPF obligations by employers, especially given the complexity brought upon by remote and hybrid workplaces? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member, Mr. Yip, for his question. All employers hiring Singaporean employees based in Singapore, all employers have a legal obligation to pay CPF contributions accurately and promptly for their employees. And this includes those on hybrid working arrangements. Now, CPF Board has multiple channels to identify employers who do not pay their CPF contributions correctly and promptly. We have a detection system. Our detection system identifies employers who are late in their contributions. There is a reporting system. Reports can be lodged with the CPF Board. Employees and whistleblowers can lodge reports to CPF Board about late payment, non-payment, or underpayment of CPF contributions. Now, the CPF Board, moving into the third initiative, the CPF Board also proactively audits employers to check the accuracy of CPF contributions paid as well as wages declared. Let me reiterate and reassure the member, the CPF Board takes a very serious view on employers who fail to pay CPF contributions correctly and promptly. If employers fail to comply with CPF obligations, with their CPF obligations, the Board will not hesitate to take enforcement action and impose penalties as appropriate. Thank you.